What's up, folks? J-Bone back here for Smash This Podcast. Let's talk some Global Force Wrestling. I even busted out the old shirt I got a couple years ago at the live events they were doing at the baseball stadiums. And I gotta say again, that was a tremendous event. That was a lot of fun. That is the most fun I have ever had. Excuse me. I will say that I have ever had at a professional wrestling event was at that first tour of GFW. So yeah, let's talk some Destination X 2017 from last week. I had some high hopes for this. So I was actually pretty excited to watch it. I watched it over the course of the weekend, and I just rewatched it right now to refresh my memory, taking notes and such. Man, top to bottom overall, before I get into some of the details of this, I got to say I was pleasantly surprised. This was a fun thing to watch, a fun event to watch on TV. And, we had surprises, we had comebacks, we had tremendous wrestling, all of the above. I don't think I'm going to give the whole thing a 5-star event. But let me tell you, from watching this, I am definitely going to be watching some Global Force Wrestling again in the near future. From what I watched, it makes me want to start watching it again on a regular basis. Let me say that first off, okay? Started out with a tremendous women's match. Sienna, the Global Force Wrestling women's champion, against veteran Gail Kim. And, I've seen the discussions online talking about this is her last year in professional wrestling. And, she's going out big. She's fighting the champ. And from what we can see, what happens later on in the match with the interference and comeback, might I add, from Taryn Terrell, shocker, complete shocker. I don't think anybody saw this coming. And I will say this, when she was in TNA before, I felt like she always gave 110%. I'm not going to sit here and say I've seen all her matches and all that, but from what I saw, especially the ones that she had with Gail Kim, were memorable. Some of the spots that she did back then, a few years ago, was it 3 years ago or whatever it was, she put her body on the line, and she really went out there and worked her ass off and impressed me. She went from being what was she? Oh, she was the WWE ECW's GM back several years ago, and I don't think she did any wrestling in the WWE. So when she started wrestling in TNA, I was surprised, and pleasantly surprised, like I said, from her performance, when I did watch her. So the fact that, first of all, the match was the Gail Kim Sienna match, great women's match. Reminded me how good both women are. I've watched Sienna recently in, I always confuse the two. Was it Shine or Shimmer? It's Shine. On Flow Slam? Was it a month or so ago? She wrestled LaFusto, the women, the champ in Shine. Crazy good match, and it just reinforces the fact that Global Force Wrestling does have some really good women's talent on their roster. And the fact that Taryn Terrell has returned, and she interfered at the end of the match and just wowed the crowd, certainly wowed me. I was like, holy cow, that was unbelievable. But the fact that, like I said, this is Gail Kim's last year, and if she's going to go out in a feud with Taryn Terrell, maybe she'll do more. I don't know. But for now, these tapings are going on towards the end of the year. I don't know how far they're going. And I'll say this right now. I'm not going to give away spoilers for the tapings that have already taken place. I'm not going to. I'm not like that. So if you're looking for Impact spoilers, you're not going to get any here. I'll do weekly reviews as long as it stays good and the product is good. Certainly excited for what I saw, at Destination X. I'll do my best to not reveal. I mean, I've seen stuff online. I'm not going to sit here and say, "Oh, I don't know what happened." No, I know who the new champ is next week, and I've seen a few other faces that popped up in pictures, and I'll talk about them as it happens week by week. As excited as I am, I'm not going to reveal anything now. So, that being said, but yeah, the women's match between Sienna and Gail Kim and the interference from Taryn Terrell was a great way to kick off Destination X. Can't wait to see what happens next. Now, Bruce Pritchard then comes down to the ring with the championship. The new, by the way, there's new championships all across the board as far as belts. And I like the look of the belts, They don't look anything like anything else out there, and I think that makes them unique. I know people are crapping all over them saying, "Oh, they're silver's stupid." Really? It's, you've got nothing else to criticize in this world that we live in, and you're going to criticize on their brand new championships. That's great. Congratulations. Your troll level is shitty, absolutely shitty. It's just so stupid. But anyways, yeah, Bruce Pritchard comes out with the new championship and starts talking about it makes the official announcement. I mean, they made the announcement online talking about the stripping of the championship from Alberto El Patron, but made the official announcement in the ring as well. But he also included something different that was not in the press release from last week, right before Destination X. He said that Global Force Wrestling wishes Alberto El Patron well in all his future endeavors. That that sounds a lot more like I had said in recent videos talking about it being an indefinite suspension. I've been indefinitely suspended. It's basically you're fired. Okay. And people are just saying, "Oh, it's just a matter of time before he comes back." I've got a feeling he's not coming back, folks. And I'm not saying that that's you. You never say never in professional wrestling. We've learned that several times over the years. But I sincerely don't think that Alberto El Patron is going to return to TV in this company anytime soon. Yeah, I haven't even seen any little headlines in the spoilers or anything. So that being said, I'm very happy about that too. The guy needs to get his head on straight. He needs to fix his life. He needs to clean up his act, and focus on his own actions, his family, his relationship with his fiance Paige, and all that crap. He also needs to work on staying out of the headlines and just, overall just fix himself, period, So, yeah, Bruce wishes him well on all his future endeavors. And I don't think that's a direct official statement. I have not seen anything since Destination X, or have I heard anything, but that does speak volumes nonetheless. Then he says that he's got the power to put the belt back on anyone he so pleases to, and announces GFW's new champion, Bobby Lashley. I was not thrilled with this announcement, but But, and that's a very big but, we get a surprise from Jim Cornette. Jim Cornette in the Impact Zone on Global Force Wrestling. Shocked, absolutely shocked. We see the glimpse, before the commercial of, someone, on camera, but we don't, we see him from here on down in the suit. And Josh Matthews, what the hell is he doing here? Oh, okay. Well, it's, obviously someone controversial. And sure enough, it's controversial as it comes. Mr. Mouth himself, not the mouth of the South, but he's got a mouth on him. He's said some very interesting things as of late. I'm not going to get into all that. Some of my friends, agree to disagree with certain things that he's talked about in the public eye and his podcast and whatnot. I for one, I'm not going to get into that, but I was happy to see Jim Cornette, someone like him, on Global Force Wrestling, and the fact that he fired Bruce Pritchard and took the championship off his shoulder. I'm always looking for the shakeup. That was exciting to see. That was fun. I enjoyed that. It just proved that, after X amount of years of not being on TV or in the public eye or whatever, in whatever, wrestling role there is for him to be in, he can still what he can do. Well, sorry, distraction, voices in the background. It's all good. So Jim Cornette fires Pritchard. Hilarious. No love lost there between those two. Pretty funny. Even security coming out. Then LAX comes down to the ring. Conan and his boys with Low Key, the newest member of LAX. I almost said Destination X. Oh my God. Need more coffee. Haven't had enough today. So they all come down to the ring. Conan's not happy whatsoever about it. He's like, you replace one cracker with another cracker. I was like, oh, hell no. Oh, too funny. Oh, one cracker with another lion cracker or whatever. And Jim makes a big point of saying, look, yeah, I may be a cracker, but you can believe what I'm telling you is the truth. So, okay, we'll see. And he feels for the position that Low Key is in, because he was supposed to wrestle the champ, ADP, whatever, for the championship at Destination X. Obviously not happening because the champ is stripped. So that leaves Low Key in a big void. What to do. So he informs Low Key. He's like, you will be in the gauntlet next week. 20-man gauntlet, all the top players in Global Force Wrestling. And it's for the championship. A new champion will be crowned next week. And like I said, I know who it is, not getting into it. So if you don't know, you're not going to get the answers here. I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm not like that. So, and throughout the show then, different people coming up to Cornette. Moose and EC3. I'm kind of jumping around here, so don't mind me. Moose and EC3 coming up to Cornette. And if you blinked, you missed it. He was on the phone, someone saying, all right, you got the FedEx? Okay, great. See you here next week. That could be any number of people, surprises. Of course, now we see the last 30 seconds of the episode who he's probably on the phone with. And we'll get to that in a bit, but that's my guess who it probably was. So he's talking to Moose, he's talking to EC3, and they're both going to be in the gauntlet. And then Eli Drake comes in with, what do they call him now? Adonis? So weird. I'm not used to that. I'm used to Chris Masters. Nonetheless, Adonis. And Eli Drake is doing, his Eli Drake, his shtick. And, and I haven't, like I said, I haven't watched Impact GFW in a while. I've watched it very inconsistently, but just watching this promo from Eli Drake reminds me how good he is. Okay. And he decides, he's like, I'm number one, or blah, 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 blah. And Cornette's like, yeah, you're number one, all right. You're going to be number one in the gauntlet. You're going to have to face 19 other men. It's like, wow. All right. Adonis is like, oh, you really did it now. It's like, yeah, you put your foot in your mouth. You put yourself in quite the situation. So it'll be interesting to see what happens next week in the gauntlet. I'm very excited to see that. It looks like it's going to be kind of Royal Rumble-ish in a way, and then the last two in the ring have like a normal one-on-one match. So I'm excited to see that. There's a lot of things going on in this company still. They're still trying to get away from the negativity of everything that's happened with Patron recently. So and they're getting there. They're really getting there. They're by leaps and bounds trying to incorporate new roster members and do different things. So I give them a lot of credit. They're getting there. It's going to take a while. I think if they keep doing this and they keep the nose clean and whatnot, make smart roster moves, have decent live shows, this next year is going to be pivotal, but I think it's also going to be very positive. You do all the right things. So we get the finals of the Super X Cup then. And, I feel bad I have not watched more of this because there are some guys on that that were part of the Super X Cup that are for some of my favorite, cruiserweight type guys to watch, like ACH and stuff. I need to go back and watch some of those matches. But this match, holy cow, between Ishimori and Desmond Xavier, going into this and seeing who was all involved, some of the guys I just didn't know at all. But Desmond Xavier would have been one of my final guys to pick because I've seen him in a few matches in CZW and a few other matches on YouTube, especially his ones against Shane Strickland. He's another guy I would love to see involved in this company. But we'll see. I know I think he's still one of the CZW champs right now. I think he just took the belt from Leo Rush. Not positive on that, but nonetheless, those two could really go. Jeez Louise. But Desmond Xavier, shining example of what this, you could say, reborn, evolved, whatever, this next, 2017 version of Global Force Wrestling's X Division. Great bunch of guys. And Desmond Xavier wins the cup. Very happy for him. And he is obviously going for the next X Division champion, who we then find out in the next match, in the ladder match. Crazy ladder match. Oh, my goodness. Sanjay Dutt, the champ, versus Trevor Lee. And, I've seen a lot of Sanjay Dutt matches. Always a crazy good performer. But I have not seen a lot of Trevor Lee. I've seen him in the Impact Zone here and there over the last year or so, however long he's been around. But this match just put the exclamation point at the end of the sentence, showing how good this guy really is. These two just killed each other between tables and ladders, and just a great match. And we get some surprises. We get Caleb Conley towards the end trying to help Trevor Lee. So that's going to be an interesting alliance. I don't know if he's helped them before. That was surprising to me, but I know Caleb Conley is part of the X division, a very good part of the X division, I might add. Caleb Conley is good. But then another comeback / shocker is seeing Petey Williams come back and do a Canadian destroyer on Caleb Conley, the originator of the Canadian destroyer. Now, I did not know that. I mean, I've watched a lot of wrestling in my lifetime, but that is one thing that I just hadn't seen him in such a long time. I had forgotten. You know, and they said he was the originator of the Canadian destroyer. Man, and Petey Williams looks like he hasn't even lost a step in the ring. So good to see him, and in incredible shape too. From what I've heard in years past, is that he's retired. So to see him come back makes me wonder. Now, I haven't read anything. I haven't looked either, for that matter. But I have not seen if he's officially back in the X division, part of Global Force Wrestling, or if this was just a run-in assist to an old friend, Sanjay Dutt. That I do not know. But wow, would it be great to see an in-ring veteran of his caliber come back? I giggle because in the back of my head I keep seeing his little vignettes that he used to. Excuse me, Max Magus. If he was watching me right now, he'd be pissed off because I said vignettes. It's vignettes. Excuse me. So I apologize. My phonics. Hooked on Phonics worked for me. Vignettes, whatever. It's a French thing or whatever. It's like something you put on a salad. No, that's vinegar and oil. Anyways, but yeah, the old goofy promos of Petey Williams being interviewed with Scott Steiner, Papa Pump, and Petey Williams was looking like a mini Pump, a mini Steiner. I can't remember what the heck they called him, but you know, he had the chainmail on, the shades, and the whatever. Just totally comical. By the way, so glad Steiner's not an official part of Global Force Wrestling going forward. Oh my God, that guy. Tremendous athlete, but you know, just would not be a positive addition to this roster going forward. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, great match between Sanjay Dutt retaining against Trevor Lee. Some surprises, and Petey Williams. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Petey Williams. I'll be doing some research on that after I'm done talking about this over the course of the next week. Because I haven't seen all the spoilers on the tapings and all that stuff, so we'll see. What else here? Oh, okay. Tag team debut, OVE, Ohio versus Everything. Jack and David Christ versus two guys. One guy I'm vaguely familiar with. The other guy I'm not. The one I'm not is Zachary Wentz, and the one I have seen before is Jason Cade. He's been on Flow Slam recently within the last few months as part of, was it Style Battle? He was part of the Style Battle series, I think, from what I've heard. So, yeah, I've seen him in some matches. Tremendous wrestler, this kid. And I was trying to think. He wasn't part of the Cruiserweight Classic. No, that's someone else I'm thinking of. Anyways, very interesting tag team match. Sometimes when you see, debuts of tag teams, it's like a squash match. No, these two teams, it was short but sweet. I'll say that. I would have loved to see this go an extra 5-10 minutes, but it was a short match. A lot of kicks, a lot of A lot of great action. So a nice short but sweet debut for Ohio versus everything. Or is it everyone? Nonetheless, OVE, the Chris brothers, will be a tremendous addition to the Global Force Wrestling roster going forward. Then we have the Cornette segment that I talked about, putting Drake. It cracks me up. Eli Drake. Putting him in the gauntlet at number 1. And then we have the main event, Bobby Lashley versus Matt Sydal. First looking at this match on paper, I'm thinking, whoa, 2 completely different style athletes in the ring. They put on a hell of a match, though. I'll give them a lot of credit. Was not necessarily rooting for either one. Was just very curious to see how it would end up, and it was good. It was a really good match. The shocker at the end with they said it a million times versus a million times during the match. Team, what the hell is Lashley's team called? Something Pro, whatever. When they attacked Hebner at the end, that was surprising. Also, leading up to something big happening with Lashley, I'm guessing. So we'll see. But very happy that Sydal won. I've been a fan of his for a long time. Never been that big of a Lashley fan. I'm not knocking his style or whatever, just ever was like, oh my God, he's like the best. I never thought of him like that. But great match. I will give him a lot of credit. Watching this match had a feeling kind of like Seth Rollins versus Lesnar. It's similar, okay? Just don't freak out on that. It's just the first thing that popped in my head when I saw these 2 in the ring. And then, as goofy or as stupid as it sounds, my favorite part of Destination X, I've been looking forward to this. The rumors, I've done videos on this, saying it should happen. They pulled the trigger. He showed up at the live events. He is now part of the Global Force Wrestling roster. Johnny Impact. Which, when you first look at this, it's like, what? Think about it. He's been Johnny everything. He's been Johnny Nitro. He's been Johnny Morrison. He's been Johnny Mundo down in AAA and Lucha Underground. And like he said, there is no one else doing this right now. Think of how big this is. No matter how big you think Global Force Wrestling is right now, this move, he's champion on TV in Lucha Underground. So they're going with that. Okay. He's AAA champion for how much longer? I'm not sure. I think their big event is coming up in a few days. I think. I could be wrong. It's August or September down in AAA. Excuse me. And now he's part of Global Force Wrestling. I am ecstatic about this. Johnny Mundo is one of my favorite guys. And the fact that now he's, Johnny Impact. I should just call him Johnny Nitro for a throwback. But no, Johnny Impact is part of Global Force Wrestling. I'm ecstatic, and I have a feeling his fiancée will soon follow. Have not heard. Well, okay, yeah, I've seen the pictures, but I'll play stupid. Wink, wink. Will be another tremendous addition to this roster. I've been waiting for this for years. I have been shocked that it hasn't happened, but I think now is the perfect time. And I can't wait to see him. We'll have to wait and see if he's part of the gauntlet. I'm sure he's going to show up soon. And wink, wink. I can't wait. I'm so excited to see Johnny a part of this. So, like you said, it's just the beginning. So we'll see a lot more going forward for Global Force Wrestling. And, can't wait to see who else is, what other surprises they're going to throw at us. It was a great way to kick off this new set of tapings leading in towards the end of the year, leading up to their biggest show of the year, Bound for Glory, which I think is in October. I think. Don't quote me on that. October or November, one of the two. So we'll see where that goes. But yeah, like I said, if the shows keep going like this, the action is good, and the quality of the show is whatever. Just everything. If they keep everything relatively positive, I'm going to keep doing reviews for this. It makes me want to watch it again, so I'm going to review it because it's not that WWE is boring me, but I've been talking less and less about it, So we'll see. But I am going to be doing my SummerSlam NXT stuff later tonight live, somewhere after SmackDown. I don't know what time. It's going to be late at night, though. So, and we'll see if I can maybe wrangle a couple of buddies, one or two friends to join me. Maybe so, maybe not. But nonetheless, SummerSlam stuff will be coming later tonight. So that's it for Destination X Thoughts. Great show, top to bottom. Really, it really was. It'll be interesting to see if we see more of Cornette or if this is a one-time thing. Same with Petey Williams. But I definitely expect to see more of Taryn Terrell. From what I've heard is she's renewing her feud. She's back in the company. And she's, maybe she'll be the one to send off Gail Kim. We'll have to wait and see. So that's it for this one. Thanks for joining me. And we'll see you later tonight for SummerSlam discussion and NXT stuff. Was it Takeover Brooklyn 3? That's it. Thanks for watching.